Thank you so much. And I want to congratulate my colleagues for the achievements, I would say, of this fact-finding mission in Germany. It is mind-blowing to see that these kind of abuses are happening in a country that should be a leading example on how to respect the fundamental rights, especially the rights of the children. In 2018, this Parliament passed a resolution that it's emphasizing pretty much the same things that a few years later you found through this fact-finding mission. And I want to point out three issues that were ongoing issues, I would say, since 2018 that haven't been fixed yet, and they have to be fixed. The first one, and I quote from this 2018 resolution at paragraph 5, states the following, and I quote, regrets the fact that for years the Commission has not implemented accurate checks on the procedures and practices used in German family law system, including the Jugendamt, in the framework of family disputes having cross-border implementation, and the phrase goes on. So for years, the Commission, the European Commission, had not done its job to prevent what you found a few years later. So since we are talking about this fact-finding mission report, I think we should add in conclusions that the European Commission should do its job and make sure that this kind of abuses are not happening in the future. The second conclusion of that 2018 resolution states the following, and I quote, strongly criticizes the absence of statistical data on the number of cases in Germany in which court rulings were not in line with the recommendation of the Jugendamt. This is absolutely mind-blowing, I would say, that in an era of digitalization, Germany cannot provide statistical data how many of these Jugendamt decisions or recommendations were overruled by the courts. I mean, this is a problem that could easily be fixed with a click. The third issue condemns the fact that in cases of supervised parental access, the failure by non-German parents to comply with the Jugendamt officials' procedure to adopt German as language during the conversation with their children had led to a harsh interpretation of the conversations. In other words, parents could not talk to their children in their mother tongue. This is, I don't want to be too harsh with my conclusions here, but I don't think something like this could be ever accepted and allowed in the European Union. And since we are talking about a union that is respecting the rule of law, as another conclusion and recommendation of this fact-finding mission is to include this issue on the rule of law monitorization of Germany, because I don't think it's okay and it's fair for the families that are living and working in Germany to have their kids exposed to such a treatment. And we had a case, a Romanian family with 7 children, Furdui family, whose children were taken away by this institution, and then the decision was later on overruled by the court. But the problem is that 7 brothers and sisters were split away to different families. They could not communicate to each other. I mean, imagine the kind of trauma that this is causing down the road for these children. So nevertheless, my recommendation is to keep open the petition filed by Erich Mocanu, since this issue is an ongoing issue. Thank you.
The Commission would like to thank the Petition Committee for this mission report to Germany on this issue of Jugendamt and the constructive dialogue with relevant stakeholders on these very sensitive topics. I would also like to welcome the German system advancements to tackle these citizen situations. The Commission would like to recall that decisions by competent national authorities concerning parental responsibility, custody and maintenance, when there is no cross-border element, are not regulated but by EU law. The Brussels IIa regulation, which has been replaced by the Brussels IIb regulation, as well as the maintenance regulation, deal only with cross-border cases. These instruments do not establish any rules on substantive family law, which belong to the exclusive competence of member states. In addition, the functioning of child protection authorities, as well as the day-to-day administration of justice systems of member states, falls within the exclusive competence of member states. Under the EU treaties, the European Union has no power to intervene on an issue that is not covered by EU law. In the matter referred to this mission report, including the petitions, it is for member states concerned to respect the obligations regarding the protection of the rights of the child, as well as the fundamental rights of the parents, are resulting from international conventions, such as the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, and from national law. In accordance with this convention, member states have to ensure that in all actions relating to children, the best interest of the child is a primary consideration. As for the alleged discrimination on grounds of nationality to non-German parents, representative data is currently not available, as on custody cases dealt by German family courts involving a non-German parent versus a German parent. The Brussels IIb regulation in Article 101.2 establishes that member states would collect data in matters falling within the scope of the regulation. However, this would not include data collection in all family law matters solely on the basis of nationality and with without cross-border elements. Additionally, the Legal Aid Directive 2003/8, that had to be transposed by 30 November 2004, obliged member states to provide for the possibility for EU nationals to request legal aid, including costs related to interpretation and translation. Member states are obliged to grant legal aid without any discrimination to Union citizens. Legal aid has to be provided for based on the same criteria, for example, a means test, as to their own nationals. The Commission has shown involvement on these topics through different actions. First, in the EU strategy on the rights of the child of 2021, the European Commission invites member states to improve the functioning of child protection systems at national level. In the strategy, the Commission committed to develop an initiative aimed at supporting the development and strengthening of integrated child protection systems, which will encourage all relevant authorities and services to better work together in a system that puts the child at the centre. Second, the European Forum on the Rights of the Child, organised by the Commission in the 9th, 10th, 11th edition, as well as in the 14th, discussed the topic of integrated child protection systems. And third, the Commission has also supported the training of professionals, including social workers and justice professionals, through the SURF Fund in the Daphne or Violence Against Children strand, as well as in the Justice Programme. The Commission will also co-fund a project with the Council of Europe to support the implementation of the Council of Europe guidelines on child-friendly justice, training of professionals on child-friendly justice. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to make two comments about the statement of the European Commission about this issue. The representative of the European Commission said that this is not an issue that falls under the jurisdiction of the European Commission. That is totally false. Because the European Commission right now is claiming to defend the rule of law all across Europe. So if protecting the rights of children and protecting the rights of families is not an issue of rule of law, then what is? So far you guys expanded this concept to clear issues that are falling outside of your jurisdiction, and exactly on issues, on important issues that you guys should be concerned about. You're claiming right now that you don't have any jurisdiction. This is simply absurd. On top of that, you said that you don't have statistical data about these cases. I mean, this was the situation in 2018. That's what the report of the Parliament states. That for years, these abuses were going on, and that at that point, in 2018, there was not statistical data. Right now, we are in 2023. What have you done for 5 years? How many more years do we have to still go on with these issues and find excuses that you don't have statistical data? If you don't have statistical data, make sure that the statistical data is provided to you. We are here to provide solutions to the problems, not to find excuses why a situation is going on for so many years. This is the reason why I re-emphasize the request that in the conclusions of this report, we should include the fact that the Commission had not done its job and they have to do it. Thank you.